Hi! Welcome to day 8. Great. So, day 8 is create a timeline for your key goals. This one was a little tricky because in order to create a timeline for my key goals, I had to decide what my key goal was. So, I pulled up my vision board again. So I think there's already been some things that I've kind of started picturing with my vision board and everything that I think would be like really fun for Elaine to do. Traveling, maybe going back to school, establishing a writing routine, get a website done, just start earning money, things like that. So I kind of just took a little bit of time, typed some stuff into ChatGPT, and did a little brainstorming session on the things that I kind of wanted to focus on that have just been sitting on the top of my head while I've been thinking about this stuff. Because yes, there's like 1.5 million different things that I would want to focus on and eventually do, but I need to choose a couple of them or one of them and start tackling it. So, in my conversation that I had with chat, I decided that there are about 4 things that I wanted to focus on. One of them is kind of, 3 of them are kind of immediate, and one of them is more long-term, but I think that that's a good balance, and if I find that this is too much for me, then I will adjust. So the things that I wanted to focus on are, number 1, I want to make a timeline for finishing my book. I haven't really talked about it on this, but I've been writing a book for the last 6 to 8 months. I have been not really writing that much recently. Within the last month, I feel like I was going really good for a while, and then I kind of hit a wall, and I feel like there's a part of me that almost feels kind of scared about the next section of the book and kind of what it means, because it is just hard. It's hard to go through it. I feel like I also have that perfectionism mentality sometimes. It's like, oh, I have to write it good. It has to be concise and beautiful and blah, 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 blah. And I'm trying to get out of that mindset and just be like, it's gotta get it down on the paper. Gotta get it down. Re-editing, rewriting is just as important as the actual writing, but the most important thing is just writing it down the first time, getting it down on page so I can do the edit and the rewrite and all of the other steps that come after. So yeah, that's one thing that I feel like I've been not looking at in my life. I've been kind of just bombastic side-eyeing. It's like, I know that this thing is looming over my head, and it's really easy to just be like, I'm not going to look at it, but I want to look at it because I'm finishing this book. So yeah, one of the things that I want to focus on is, in making this timeline, building out a timeline for myself, is I want to focus on the book. I want to focus on the potential of going to school. Actually, I'm going to rephrase that. Researching what it would take to go back to school. And also building myself a freelancer profile. So Elaine can have this YouTube page, a website. I can start putting myself out there more. 4th thing that I wanted to focus on is, when I originally set out thinking about writing this book, I imagined that I would visit the cities that my main character visits in the book. And so I want to try to figure out how I can make that happen. So what do I have to do? I just have to sit down and start having to plan it and see, how can I get there? Can I find a way that somebody else will pay for me to get there? I mean, whether it be I'm driving somebody's apartment across the country, or whether I'm driving somebody's dog, or whatever it may be, and just start doing that. So making a plan and just start ticking the things off the list. So those are the things for day 8 I wanted to focus on, which is just creating a timeline. So basically what I did was I went through and incorporated those 4 elements into my current 30-day schedule, and then also made a further extended schedule off of that, because my idea is that these 30 days aren't going to just stop at 30 days. I'm just going to keep this momentum going. So I also want to keep in mind my goal that I set for the month, which is rewriting the mindsets that have inhibited growth and replace them with new ones that expand me. So I want to just keep that in the back of my mind while I go through this process. So I am technically in week 2 of this adventure. So I'm calling this planning and cultivating a new mindset. And so tomorrow is day 9, and I'm going to go through and break down one of these main goals into smaller actions, which I kind of already did a little bit of that because she is proactive. We love it. Okay. But yeah, so I will put these on the screen of what I made for the calendar. So I made a week 2 calendar and kind of just wrote it out plain and clear. I feel like when you write it out, almost like a budget, like when you go through a budget, you just type all the numbers in and you remove the emotional weight of like, this number isn't as big as I want it to be, or this number is small, or like whatever it may be. If you just remove the emotional resonance of how you're feeling in regard to this number and just recognize that this is a number, this is a goal, this is something that is on this paper in front of me, and I'm just gonna like start tacking it one by one. I don't know, I feel like it's almost a little bit easier to like remove the emotional aspect and just be like, this is a task. This is the task for today. This is the budget I have. This is like the whatever, you know? So yeah, I just kind of wrote it all out week 2, week 3, week 4, and then also a little bit of week 5 because I have dribbled over 2 days onto a different week. But it's 30 days, whatever. But, okay. So yeah, that was today, is just building out this schedule. So that's what I did. All right. See you tomorrow on day 9, where we're going to break down these main goals. I think the main goal I'm going to focus on is finishing the book, because that's kind of also 2 goals, which is also the drive. And I think that's efficient. So we're doing that. Okay. Thanks so much for joining today. And also, if you want to subscribe to this journey, you totally can. Cool. And that's it. See you tomorrow. Bye.